means stay. And I'm just going to sing you into this practice with a chant. So tuck yourselves in, get cozy, get comfy, enjoy a couple of breaths. And the chant that I'm about to sing for you is one that I'll translate first from Sanskrit to English. Alyssa! Hi, Alyssa! Yes! Okay, now we're really ready. So the words of this chant that you'll hear in just a moment are, may the both of us, and in this case, both meaning all of us practicing here, may the both of us together be protected. May both of us together be nourished. May we work together with great energy. May our study be brilliant and effective. May we not hate or dispute with each other. So you can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you wherever you are. Just letting sound wash over you as you listen to this chant and let it absorb into your body wherever it's most needed. Sahana bhavatu, Sahana bhunaktu, Sadviryam karavavahe, Tejasvina vaditamastu, Ma vidvishavahe. Rest as you are. Take 3 more breaths. Full commitment to your breath here. And when you feel ready, open your eyes. We're going to start with core work. So if you're already on your back, you can stay exactly as you are. And I don't think you'll need to be able to see me much to tell what's going on. This is going to be really simple to practice core. So you can start by bending your knees, planting your feet on the floor, lacing your fingers behind your head, and let the elbows drift up toward the ceiling. So you create a little bit of a cradle for your head, and the idea is that the weight of the head rests heavy into the hands so that the neck can stay long and soft, and the hinge of the jaw can stay soft. And then lift your feet up off the floor so shin bones are parallel to the floor. Heels of the feet can float just a little bit higher than your knees. And as you inhale here, feel the back body moving into the floor. And as you exhale here, you're going to extend your right leg on a diagonal toward that place where your wall and ceiling meet. And you're going to draw your rib cage to the left. So think of kind of a bicycle shape. And at the bottom of your exhale breath, curl your tailbone up towards your knees. Hug the right rib tip toward the left hip. And then inhale, release your head heavy into your hands, shoulders touch down, right knee bends. Exhale, pedal the left foot on the diagonal. Bring the rib cage over to the right knee. At the bottom of that exhale, curl the tailbone. Breathe the lower back, inhale, and come back to center. And this is our pattern. So exhaling to move rib cage left, extending through the right heel. Inhale back to center, head heavy, throat soft. Exhaling to your right, rib cage swivels right, pressing out through the left heel. Inhale, come back to center. We'll do 3 rounds like this. So 3 more left and right. And if you're not practicing abdominal work right now, because maybe there's an extra being in that space of your body, you get a free pass to stretch and wiggle and breathe in whatever way feels great. Just warming up. Or maybe heating up the body to begin this practice. Nice.
Yeah. And then when you're finished with that exercise, let the whole body rest down onto the floor. Inhale, stretching out long from your toe tips to your fingernails. You can hook the thumbs if you like on the inhale. And on your exhale, wiggle all of your limbs over to the left side of the mat. Softening into this side bend, you can cross right ankle over the left ankle. Take an inhale, letting the back of the right shoulder blade and the right outer hip soften down into the floor. And then exhale, uncrossing ankles, come back to center. Inhale, lengthen space. Letting liquid love flow through the body. Exhale, curling all the limbs to the right side of the mat. If you like, hooking your left ankle over your right. Take an inhale here, expanding the left side of the rib cage. And then exhale, left hip and left shoulder blade melting back into the floor. Good. Inhale and unwind. Exhale, relace your fingers behind your head, rebend your knees, feet on the floor, and if you have a pillow or a block handy, squeeze a block between the upper inner thighs. It's one more round of abdominal wake-up exercises. So again, the shoulders stay down on the back and the elbows float up toward the ceiling to cradle the head. Inhale and pick your feet up off of the floor. You can press through the heels of the feet and keep the heels a little higher than the knees. As you exhale your breath, curl your tailbone toward the ceiling. Low back will melt toward the floor. And bring your low ribs toward the top of your waist. So that's the action that's going to curl the shoulders up off the earth. And then inhale and release. Exhale, first find the scoop of the tailbone, the round in the low back. Then the low ribs come up toward the top of the waist. Throat soft, inhale and release. We're doing little yoga crunches. If this causes any stress or tension in the low back, you can do this same exercise, so squeezing to your block or your pillow with your feet grounded on the floor. You can finish 3 more rounds. Squeeze the block, melt the low back, curl the tailbone, and then letting it go. Good. And one more time, lengthening all the way out, tip to tail. Take a big inhale breath here. And then exhale, sigh it out. Give yourself one more of those full body breaths from fingernails to toenails. And exhale, a big sigh out. And then yogi's choice, you can roll to your side, or if your spine thinks it's fine, you can rock and roll, and come into an upright seat. Taking your upright seat with a little bit of lift if that helps you find space in your low back. As you inhale, sweep the arms wide, draw the rib cage forward. As you exhale, pulsing back through the spine, wrapping your arms around your favorite person. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, back. It's pulsing here, moving through some of the essential spinal movements. Breath working like a bellows here, moving and distributing that heat that you created on the back body and taking it out to the limbs and taking it up to the extremities, maybe up into the crown of the head. Exhaling, round in, inhaling, elbows, fingertips unfurl to the ceiling. Exhale, easy twist to your right. Use the inhale to gather length up the side bodies. Use the exhale to center your chin right over the breastbone. So we're not working this twist from the crank of the neck. Shoulders can soften on the back. But next inhale, untwist. Exhale, easy twist to the left. Use your inhale to find some length, some space in the back of the neck. Exhale, can you drop more deeply into your sense here of belonging? You have every right to be exactly as you are. Inhaling and untwisting. Exhale, bring the hands together at the heart, and we're going to spin the wheel here. So waking up the wrist joints, keeping some contact between thumbs, pinkies, backs of the hands. And let this draw your attention a little bit more deeply inward. Just to notice what you notice about your own experience of having hands right now.
Maybe this is the most interesting part of your day so far. The other direction. Good. And then inhale, sweeping your arms up and overhead. Exhale, take a side bend to the left. Inhale, rooting into the right sitting bone, right side of the waist drops. Exhale, let your gaze drop, your head soften, maybe your eyes soften in the sockets. Press out of the left fingers, rise up to sit tall. Exhale, we'll drape the right arm over your head. Fingertips can tickle your earlobe and slowly release right ear to the right shoulder. Reaching and rooting down through the left fingertips here. Inhale, breath to the back of the body. Exhale, breath is like an internal shower. Inhale, releasing right arm up. Exhale, crescent over, side bend to the right. Inhale, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Spark some joy. Exhale, release the head. Shoulders can slide away from the earlobes. Rooting into the left side of the hip to rise up. Exhale, draping your arm right on top of the head. Fingertips might touch your earlobe, then melting left ear to the shoulder. And breathe in liquid love, prana. One more breath here. And starting to wake up spaces and places in the body that are receptive to our attention, awareness, and movement. Inhale, unwinding, and exhale, release your hands. Take both hands to the shoulders and stir some big circles here. You can imagine you're painting circles with your elbows in space on either side of you. Feel free to make these big or small. Sometimes we get a little bit stuck in the mindset that bigger is always better. Actually, smaller sometimes a good way to rally less often used parts of your musculature. So play with that if you like. And we're going to leave the fingers resting on the shoulders and have a breath practice here. Kapalabhati. As we twist to the right, inhale through the nose. As you twist to the left, it's a forceful exhale, also out the nose, drawing the abdomen back toward the spine. Inhale right, exhale left. Inhale right, exhale left. You can let a little bit of momentum come into this. A little bit of swing. Keep it slow or speed it up. Accentuating the movement of the belly back to the spine. If your head wants to move freely with the shoulder girdle, let the head move. You can close your eyes. You might get a little dizzy, and that's okay. For 5 more breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, sending the arms up and overhead. Exhale, backstroke the arms, interlace your fingers behind your back. Take the chest proud and full as you inhale. Exhale, releasing hands into your lap, just having a moment to pause. And when you're ready, coming all the way upright. You can slide any props out of your way, maybe de-sock now. Backing up so I don't have my head cut off. Stand at the front of your mat. We're going to bring the arms out wide to either side and work some more spinal movement here. So as you turn your right palm up and your left palm down, gaze goes out over the right fingers. As you flip left palm up and right palm down, gaze goes out over the left fingers. Just a little temple dancer, a little rotation for shoulders and elbows and wrists and neck. And see if you can stay here breathing and moving through the upper half of the body and simultaneously rooting, grounding, becoming a bit more connected through the hips and thighs and ankles and feet and toes. But come to center, inhale, scoop it up
As you exhale, take a bow right down the midline, knees supple.
Release the crown of your head to the earth. Inhale, floating halfway up.
Exhale, bow, Uttanasana.
Inhale, rising right back up where you came from.
Exhale, hands into the heart, sitting low to chair.
Fierce pose, chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, bring your elbows out wide for goalpost arms. Exhale, pelvis stays steady, twist to your right. Good. If you'd like, you can stay in this upright chair, or you can exhale and sit down a little deeper. Inhale, revolving belly button to center. Exhale, pelvis stays steady, knees stay steady as you rotate to your left. Take a sneak peek at your knees here and see if one is poking forward a little bit. Can you draw that hip back in space to level the pelvis? But inhale, come to center. Exhale, melt chest to thighs, arms sweep back. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, Uttanasana, bowing over your legs. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow. Get to know your toes for just a minute, releasing the head. Maybe you wrap opposite elbows with your hands and have a gentle sway. Touch your palms to the earth and step back to downward facing dog. Checking in with the front floating ribs in your down dog. Can you integrate the front of the rib cage up into the back hemisphere of the body? So we're not collapsing between shoulder blades. We're not hinging or hanging on the shoulder joints. And the pelvis is lifting up and out of the spine. Backs of the legs long, even if they're bent. On an inhale, rippling through table pose. On an exhale, take child's pose. On an inhale, we're rising high to the knees. Arms scoop out and up. Exhale, big backstroke as you plant your hands. Inhale, downward facing dog. Good. Exhale, touching knees to the earth. Table pose. Inhale this time to cow pose, sink the spine. Exhale back, child's pose, building a little flow here. Inhale, scooping the arms as you press down with the shin bones and rise up. Exhale, big backstroke. Find your tabletop pose. Inhale, tuck the toes and the pelvis, high down dog. Exhale, knees floating back to earth. See how slowly they might touch down. Inhale, sink the spine. Exhale, balasana, child's pose. Inhale, rippling up the spine to sit tall on your knees. And exhale, coming back to all fours. Nice. So we're gonna step out with the left foot, putting it out beside you. Inhale, bringing right arm up. And as you exhale, thread that right arm under. Maybe you can take hold of your left shin, walking out with the left fingertips. Inhales here, loop the left shoulder blade onto the back body. Exhale, spin the ribs and belly toward the ceiling. Some friends might be able to set the right shoulder or the right side of your head down on the floor. That's totally legal. Good. Placing your left hand back by your head. Inhale, unwind the right arm. Exhale, set it down. Tuck your left leg in. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time, inhale, rippling forward, high plank pose. You can always swap this out for tabletop. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Inhale, tops of the feet settle on the floor, rise up to low cobra. Exhale, soften your face and fingers as you release the spine down. You're gonna ripple through 2 more cobras. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, tailbone reaching toward the toes, spine getting longer as you lengthen. This is a good place to soak up some liquid love. And move it into the spinal column, the intervertebral discs. Good. Last inhale, you'll lift your chest, roll your shoulders back, and exhale to down dog. Inhale, set the knees back down for tabletop pose. Exhale, right leg out beside the body. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, thread the needle. We're going all the way under, maybe as far as the right shin bone. Walk out with your right hand. Pause here, at least 2 full breath cycles. See whether this might be somewhere that we could become just a little more breathable. When you're ready to unwind, sweeping out with the left arm and up through the fingers. Exhale, touch down. Inhale, right knee meets the left knee. Inhale, tuck toes in, sink spine. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, take your right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, please open and stack the hips without bending the left knee. So you've got a long extended leg up toward the ceiling. You've got a long rooting leg down toward the floor. And put the shoulders square back toward the front corners of your mat. Inhale, integrate the front ribs into the back body. Yeah, exhale. We'll bring this left knee across to the right tricep. Scoop it out to the right side, left side, excuse me, and then pulse it all the way back up. So we're drawing a big hip circle here, and we'll do 2 more. Curling the knee under the body, out to the left, and last one like that. Inhale through full extension. Exhale, bring the left foot forward and set it wide of your left pinky finger. So we're coming into a wide lizard lunge here. You can always rest down onto the right forearm if that wrist is fatiguing. You can always put your right knee down on the floor behind you. Inhale to take the left arm up. I'm coming back to this shape of thread the needle, scooping the fingers back toward the hip tip on the right side. Inhale, sweeping it open. Exhale, curling in. 1 more like that. Knee down or knee lifted. Inhale, sweeping up through the left fingertips. Exhale, replace the left hand under the shoulder. Slide the left heel up and back. 3-legged dog. Exhale, we're bringing that same leg through between the hands, planting the back knee this time for everyone. Pat it if you need to. On an inhale, rising to a high lunge. Anjaneyana. Exhale, releasing the hands, melting the chest over the thigh bone, and lace your fingers behind your back. As you inhale, lifting the chest, the knuckles go down. The right shin bone goes down, the collarbone spread wide. Good. Now hug your front foot towards your back knee. Hug your back knee towards your front foot. Create equal space on all sides of the neck. Inhale, releasing the arms, sweep them up and overhead. Exhale, taking your hands down, tucking your back toes under, and 1 more time, find 3-legged dog, left heel high to the sky. Exhale, set that left foot down, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling shoulders over the hips, or over the wrists, plank pose. Exhale, coming all the way to the earth. I'm gonna have more rippling, rolling cobras here. So yogi's choice if you wanna rise a little higher this time. Exhale, unfurling the spine, reaching long through toes and tailbone. Let your breath find you. And at the end of that 3rd exhale, set your hands under your forehead. Rest in Makrasana. And take at least 3 breath cycles here to integrate. Centering yourself. And as you lie on the belly and breathe, set aside your accomplishments. With your next breath cycle, you can set aside anything that you didn't accomplish today. With your last breath cycle, you can sit in the center of your being without any of those trappings, without any of those costumes or decorations of your accomplishment, and simply feel what's there. Coming up off the floor and easing the hips to the heels, child's pose. From this child's pose, sweep your arms back, fingers pointing towards your toes, and rest your forehead down on support, maybe a block, maybe a blanket, maybe your yoga mat. And let the back body breathe. Good. On your next inhale, rising high on the knees, sweep the arms up overhead. As you exhale, releasing your arms to shoulder height. We're going to hold the arms out wide from the sides of the bodies and zip up the pubic bone to the navel. So in fact, let's zip all the way up from the fronts of the knees up the thigh bones to the bottom of the ribs. So this whole area here is like, you can think of an ice cream sandwich, and your belly button's the ice cream in the middle. The ribs and the thigh bones are like the sandwich cookies holding it together. We're going to have a little bit of movement here in our a version of Ustrasana, camel. So from the side view, you're going to lean back and lean forward. And what you'll see is not happening is we're not piking at the hips. So we're not sitting hips back toward the heels. Another thing that's not happening is we're not popping the front of the rib cage, arcing the upper back here. So it's really a strengthening shape to be taking for the front of the thighs and hip flexors and for the core. And you might experience here NCIS, non-sexual involuntary quivering. You're in good company. Good. Come back to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, back, stroke the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, tuck your toes and sink your spine. Exhale, down dog. Settling in for a breath, wrapping the triceps, so upper arm bones slide toward the armpits. On your inhale, right heel goes up and back. On your exhale, open the hips, keeping that right leg long. The length of the right leg can be a reminder to the upper arm bones to stay steady and stable. They're like the riverbanks containing the liquid love of the spine. So realign shoulders to the front of your mat. Feel free to bend the left knee or lift the left heel. Inhale, get really long. Exhale, bringing that right knee to the left tricep, circling it to the right tricep, and re-extending the leg up and back. Full hip circle, 2 more times. Good, exhaling, set the right foot quietly, sweetly between the hands. We're gonna come all the way up here, Anjaneyasana, patting the left knee as you need. Exhale, melting chest to the thigh. Arms sweep back, interlace the fingers. Scoop the low belly to the spine, lift the heart, broaden the collarbones as you rise. And take an exhale here, hug the front foot to the back knee and the back knee to the front foot, lift the pelvic floor. Exhale, you can release your hands, tuck the back toes under, and inhale, sweep up again for 3-legged dog. This next time, exhaling, bringing that right foot wide to the right side of your pinky. Back knee can stay lifted, or you can set it down on the floor. Inhale, sweep right arm open. Chest is broad, ribs are breathing. Exhale, we're wrapping in and under for thread the needle. And have 2 rounds like this. Establish yourself in breath and let the rest come. So maybe your shape is a little different than mine. It's almost certainly different than each and every other person on this video call, and that's what makes it lovely. Good. Exhale, setting the right hand down. Tuck the left toes under. We're going up and back. Three-legged dog. One last time. Right side. Good. Exhale, bring the right foot through. Stand on it and pivot the right heel. Left heel, excuse me, in and down. We're going to inhale and rise to warrior two. Take a moment to settle. You can take your gaze out over your right fingers. Spin your torso slightly to the left. Yeah, keep the right knee working toward the right pinky toe. And then flip both palms. Let the shoulders slide down on the back. And we're going to take a little movement here with the arms. As you inhale, sliding left arm overhead, circling left arm under the belly. As you exhale, folding over the right thigh. We'll do this 3 times in total, moving at your own pace. If you'd like to hold a little mudra with the hands, you can join the thumb with any of the tips of your fingers. Good. Inhale, coming back out to warrior two. Exhale, all we're going to do here is change sides. So pivoting the right toes in, crossing the arms over the heart, and then sliding out, bending the left knee. Find your warrior two facing the back of your yoga mat. Gaze moves out over left fingers. Belly button subtly aligning to the right. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, flow it over. We'll do this 2 more times. Your pace and your breath. You can always catch up to me. I can always catch up to you. Inhale, leveling out in warrior two. Exhale, big sigh. Inhale, we're going to transition back to the first side in the warrior two pose. Let yourself settle. Feel into your feet. Feel into your fingertips. As you inhale, move the right arm back and up overhead, just like you did before, but straighten out through the right leg. And then exhale, windmill the arms into Trikonasana, triangle pose. And let your back foot and your pelvis be the rudder or the anchor for this shape. So plugging into the left pinky toe. Imagine you're pivoting that left pinky toe toward the back side of your mat, using that to revolve the chest, the heart, the belly to the sky. Inhale, lifting up and out of left fingers, head floating right between the shoulders. Exhale, turning the chest over the right thigh. You can hop that left foot in a little nearer and fold for pyramid pose. Let the head be really heavy. Good. Last breath right where you are. Planting your hands firmly on the earth. Take the right foot, step it all the way back to down dog, pedal it out. Inhale will come through to plank pose. Exhale, gathering the ribs to the midline as you lower down. Inhale, cobra or yogi's choice if you want to rise up, upward facing dog, and exhale, down dog. Inhale, take the right heel up and back. Exhale, bring it all the way through. Pivoting your left heel in and down. I said the wrong legs. I meant to put you on the second side. I'm trying to mirror you, so I got myself backward. And if you take my class regularly, you know I do that all the time. I can't blame it on the Zoom or the computer. But you should have your left leg forward, your right leg back to be on a new side in your warrior two. Good. Then we're going to inhale and lift up and out of the left hip, up and out of the left fingers. And then exhale, windmill arms over and come to Trikonasana. This is a great place to invite your gaze to soften, the sides of your neck to soften. In fact, take the head Turn it down toward the floor. See your own feet. Draw your energy from your feet up your legs into the pelvis, lifting the pelvic floor, extending through the spine, and up and out of right fingertips. Exhale, lower that right arm down. Little soft bend in the left knee here as you slide the right foot in and melt over the left thigh bone, pyramid pose. See if you can invigorate the right leg just as much as you're feeling the front leg. See if the breath can move up into the back of the lungs. Releasing your hands, planting them under the shoulders. Step yourself all the way back to down dog. Inhale, touching the knees down, table pose. And exhale, sitting back, child's pose, or you can sit back in Virasana, keeping the head above the heart, especially if you have any dizziness or lightheadedness here. Setting aside your accomplishments. Setting aside the things that you didn't accomplish today. And feeling your body breathe you. Your body's not particularly concerned with what you did or didn't accomplish. It wants to breathe you full of vitality and liquid love either way. When you're ready, if you're in child's pose, rising up. If this Virasana seat is comfortable for you, you can meet me here. If you want to arrange a different seat, go ahead and take that one now. And then hold your left palm out in front of you. Take your right pointer finger, and I'd like you just to trace the palm of your hand. So you don't need to trace fingers, just tracing the shape of the palm of the hand, right around the edge, the light touch. Tracing in the other direction, letting your awareness and your attention zoom in here on sensation, on hills and valleys, on texture and temperature, noticing whether your hand is warm or cool. And then just take a minute resting both palms in your lap to recognize your hand is your hand is your hand, right? It holds you up in your down dog. It holds your utensils so you can eat. It opens doors. It reaches out to touch people, a little less so right now. But it does all of those things, and it does them on your behalf. And it does them no matter what we found, no matter what characteristics you found tracing the palm of your hand. Working in yoga to apply that same kind of equanimity and that same kind of compassionate curiosity towards our whole selves as we can apply to just one palm at a time. So opening eyes, holding out the right palm, left pointer finger. Take a little exploration here. You can explore with your eyes also, so maybe you're noticing color, lines where it's smooth or where it's rough. Maybe there's jewelry. Notice how the hand itself responds to your inquisitive and tender touch. See how the rest of your body might respond to receiving this touch. If there's some other part of the body that could soften or settle. And then setting both hands in your lap. Take a full breath in and a big sigh out. One more just like that. Opening your eyes, and let's come into a seat, maybe lifted up on a blanket. Left leg is going to move out to the side. Sole of the right foot resting on the upper inner thigh. Touch your hands on either side of your left leg and use the inhale to draw the spine tall. As you exhale, belly folds over the left thigh bone. We're only going to fold as far as we can keep this sense of extension and length in the spine. So it might be an inch, it might be 2. And gently hug the heel of the left foot in, like you're retracting the leg up and into the socket. And keep some suppleness at the back of the knee. And take one more inhale, mustering all the length that you can find. And then exhale to gradually, sweetly soften any amount, even if that's just softening the chin to the chest. And take one breath here. Inhale, walking yourself back up to center, squaring the chest and the belly. This time we're going to take it as a side bend. So the outer arm, left arm, can rest on the thigh or just inside the thigh, or even onto a block here. Inhale, bringing right arm up, and exhale, reaching the right arm over the right ear. Sometimes this side bending shape has a tendency to start to curl in and collapse. So place your left arm in a way that your right shoulder can move on to the back of the body. The chest and the ribs can lift to the sky. And give your head the opportunity to rest. I am lucky and I have skylights over me, but most of the ceilings that I practice under are not that interesting. There's maybe not that much to see up there. You can rest your gaze down to the floor. Take an inhale, lifting from sitting bones up to fingertips. Take an exhale, softening, settling. And then inhale from the down of that left heel, rise up. And exhale, release the hands. Good. Second side. Right leg extended, left foot to the upper inner thigh. We're going square belly over the thigh bone. Inhale to find the length. Exhale to take just a little lean. And if you have particularly tight low back or tight hamstrings, you might benefit from sitting up a little higher. You could stick a block, a pillow, or an extra folded blanket under the pelvis here. So we're not hyperextending or locking out at the knee joint, but we are staying curious and interested in sensation. You might have several points of contact to be curious about sensation. For example, where your heel meets the floor. For example, where the surface of the bottom of your left foot is meeting your upper inner right thigh. Or taking it inside the body where the lungs are meeting the air that you're bringing in on your breath. Good. Inhale, walking yourself back to center. We'll reorient using props if you like to set the right arm inside the right thigh bone. Inhale the left arm up and exhale, crescent to the right. Release the head, the neck. Soften at the hinge of the jaw. You might come into an awareness of a gentle pulsation here. So as you inhale and the ribs and intercostals expand, there's a little lift. As you exhale, there's a release, a softening. And take one more breath. And from the down of the right heel on the floor, inhale, rise up. Exhale, release the hands. You can set your props off to the side for now. And let's take that right leg and fold it all the way over the left leg, and then wiggle the feet in opposite directions. So we're taking Gomukhasana, or the cow face legs here. I'm gonna go same leg as arm. So right hand to the center of the back, left hand finding the top of the elbow, and you can either stay right there, or you can thread this left arm to the mid back, internally rotating the shoulder. Maybe you grab your shirt, your fingers, or a strap. Press the outer edges of both feet down as you inhale, lift the ribs. If you like, as you exhale, you can take a little curl in the spine. Check in with the hips, check in with the breath. We'll be here for 3 rounds in total. This would be a good place to start purposefully deepening your own breath. Start welcoming in that liquid love, the movement of prana. Unwind at the top of the last exhale. And switch sides. Maybe you do that without your hands. Maybe your hands help you arrange your legs in cow face pose. Pressing into the outer edges, pinky sides of your feet. Left palm to the center of the back. Right hand either finding the elbow or internally rotating that right shoulder and wrapping it behind. You get to be different side to side. Just notice if your mind has anything to say about observing that difference, if it exists. Could be interesting. It's all interesting in yoga. Inhale, breath here. Exhale, if you'd like, a little round in the spine, a reminder that chin and jaw, tongue can soften. Exhale and release. Unwinding the legs, give them a good shake. Nice. And let's pause here and have one more breath practice before we go down to the back body. So you can find whatever seat is comfortable for you. One of the things that the ancient yogis figured out was that we can affect really directly the state of the mind by using the body, but even more direct and even more efficient than using the body is using the breath. So this breath practice, alternate nostril breathing or nadi shodhana, we're going to be breathing through just one side of the nose at a time. So if you have a hand position and you practiced this before, you get to do just however you like to do. I'm going to use the pinky and the thumb on my right hand. So taking a full breath in through both nostrils. And then covering the right nostril and exhaling through the left. Leave the hand as it is, inhale through the left nostril. And cover the left nostril and exhale through the right. And leave the pinky there, inhale through the right. Cover the right nostril with the thumb, exhale through the left. Inhaling through the left nostril. Closing left nostril with the pinky, exhale through the right. And continue like this at your own pace. An ongoing invitation to your shoulders to soften down your back as you practice Nadi Shodhana. An ongoing invitation to your hips to experience some ease in relationship to the floor. It's about 2 more rounds. When you finish, rest your hands in your lap. An ongoing invitation here in your practice and for the rest of your evening to set aside your accomplishments, to set aside those things that you haven't yet accomplished, to breathe into the very center of your being, absorbing liquid love. To be exactly as you are for now. When you're ready, open your eyes and come to your back. So we're lying down again, and if you have that block or that pillow, you can take it between the upper inner thighs. It's not going to be more core work, but we are going to work on a little bit of bridge pose. So recline on the back, plant your feet on the floor, root your shoulders, your arm bones, and your palms into the earth. Inhale and lift the pelvis up. Exhale, gently squeezing to your block and softening the shoulder blades down. Inhale as you squeeze, plugging into all four corners of the feet. Exhale, can the neck soften? Going to continue to breathe in bridge pose, and if you like, you can stay right here, or you can walk the shoulders under your back and lace your fingers together. Pressing into any surfaces that make contact with the floor, but in particular, the outer edges of the arms, the inner edges of the feet. Reach the tailbone towards your knees. Gently hug your heels back towards your waistline. Collarbones broad and expansive here for your last breath. And if you're clasping your hands, release those and set your spine down slowly and sweetly. Tailbone is the last thing to touch down. Take your block out if you had it and set it off to the side. Feet as wide as the edges of your mat, arms out wide beside you like a pair of wings. Take a few breaths and let the knees drop from side to side. Good. And then we had a request for some booty stretching. So we're going to take figure 4 pose. Plant the sole of the right foot and cross your left ankle over the thigh bone. Keep that left foot really bright and vital and awake. So instead of letting the foot be a floppy fish here, you're going to imagine you're pressing the sole of the left foot into a wall out beside you. You can keep your right foot grounded or pick it up and thread your hands behind your right thigh bone. Then you'll gently press that thigh bone into the hands and resist. Hands hug the thigh toward the belly. And you get to have a little breath dance here as you exhale, drawing the right thigh in. And as you inhale, pressing forward through both feet. See whether the shoulders could do less work here. The sides of the neck could do less work. The face could stay soft. Maybe it feels good to rock a little bit side to side on the sacrum. And then keep the legs as they are. Unwind your arms back to that wide space on either side of you. Slowly and sweetly take the pelvis over to your right side. So we're moving the figure 4 legs across the body and into a twist. And your left foot might land on the floor, planting nice and square, and it might not. It could come down to a block or a blanket, or if it feels okay, it could just hover there in space. I like to put left hand on the left side of the waist here, just between ribs and belly, and invite some full breath into that space. If it feels good, you can slide your right arm alongside your right ear, reaching long into the space behind you. Be unwinding the tension of your day. Any residual tension that you didn't mean to be carrying around here in the fascial network of the body. Breathe in, breathe out, and let it go. And then slowly unwinding from your twist, gather both knees up into the chest. If that creates any pinching at the hip flexor or there isn't room for knees to come to the chest, then knees come wide toward the armpits. Make some circles with your ankles, wiggle your toes. We'll go to figure 4, second side. Planting left foot, crossing the right ankle over the thigh bone. You can stay grounded here or lift the left foot and thread your hands through, keeping both feet bright. And notice what your tailbone is up to here. Is it curling toward the ceiling? Is it reaching down toward the mat? Maybe you can play with both of those shapes. Maybe you rock from side to side. Maybe you offer your eyes a gentler seat in the eye sockets. Deepening the breath here. Widen arms, set them beside you on the floor, and slowly let the pelvis and the legs move over to the left. You can bring right hand to the right side of the belly, left arm up beside the ear. If this doesn't feel good in your low back, this arrangement of your limbs, feel free to unwind and just stack the knees. Take this simple twist over on the left side. This yoga practice is for you. Offer yourself 2 more breaths. And then a slow, unhurried unwinding, lengthening out, setting all the limbs gently and tenderly on the floor beside yourself. You can breathe all the way down to toes and fingers. Breathe all the way up to the crown of the head. Breathe all the way around the body, back body, front body, and sides. To offer you here a yoga inquiry. So what might your body like in these next few moments before you come to rest? Is there a particular shape or wiggle that it's calling for? Also a good time to start sliding your comfy, cozy props into the neighborhood of your mat, putting on a warm sweater or socks. Be taking one final breath in through the nose and a big sigh out through the mouth. And setting an intention for the next several minutes to do less. Shavasana is a pose about not doing. And if you find that this is the most challenging part of your practice, maybe you have a brain that is disinclined to be quiet or a body that's disinclined to stillness, just know that you're not alone. One of the best ways to encourage the body toward rest is to let your tongue soften. Might even start to feel like a little bit of saliva pools underneath the tongue. The body is really resting and relaxed. It's one of our body's responses. Think about the palate broadening, almost like an inner smile is spreading from one ear to the other. You can let your eyes rest, even if they're open, holding a soft gaze. The skin around the eyes be soft. Breathing here, setting aside your accomplishments. Breathing here and setting aside things that you have not yet accomplished. Breathing here and laying aside all of the costumes that we put on, all of the extra trappings that we attach to simply being. And notice how your body breathes you without all of those costumes, without all of the trappings. Notice how the breath moves through the limbic system, the fluids of the body, and on the pathway of the breath, you carry liquid love. Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahat Viryam Karavavahe, Tejasvina Vaditamastu, Ma Vidvishabhahe. Fill your body with breath and let it go. Do this again. Fill your body with breath and let it go. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. Invite any organic movements to the body that you feel ready for. Take your time. If you have nowhere to be, you can feel free to stay and stretch your Shavasana out long. If you'd like, you can begin to roll onto one side, making your way sweetly and slowly to an upright position. We'll finish class together wherever you are. Bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. Take a deep breath in, sigh out. Thank you all so much for being here and for sharing your practice.
Thank you.
Hi. Hi again.
It's so weird to speak these days.
It's a what?
Weird to talk these days. It's like I do
Yeah.
communication with a keyboard,
Yeah.
not verbally.
I know. I'm not sure I remember how to do it sometimes. Oh, yeah. Words?
Spoken words, yeah.
Look at all these faces. Can you all see each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a gallery mode.
Thank you so much, Amalia. That was so lovely.
It takes me a minute to figure out who's saying. Is that Deb?
That was Mom.
Is my mom?
No, it wasn't me. Oh.
I don't know who said that. Was it coming from the Knowlton corner? No.
Oh, that Mom. Hi, Jen.
Hi. Hi. I love you.
Oh my gosh, look at all these people. If you go to gallery view, you can see everyone.
Yeah, you can see